Warning. This video might trigger some people. I don't beat around the bush when I do these, and I will hurt your feelings. This video isn't for everyone, so if you aren't prepared for that,
piss off!
Sup morons, my name's Windette, and welcome back to Idiot Central. Today on Explained in Insults, we're taking a look at charms. Most notably the ones that I believe are being drastically underused. Rusty's done some great videos on charms, Fireborn did an entire in-depth guide that goes for an hour and 22 minutes! Yeah, no, we're not doing that. So, if you didn't manage to slog your way through what I'm sure was riveting content, perhaps sit down and enjoy this video for the time being. Here are the just three, charms that you should be using in Hollow Knight. First up, Spell Twister. Okay, so this one seemed obvious to me, but apparently not to you lot. This charm reduces the cost of spells from 33 to 24. But these numbers mean nothing to you idiots. You probably have no idea what I'm even talking about. Whether you like it or not, any video game can become a numbers game, and Hollow Knight is no exception. Here are the basics. You have a soul vessel, and its maximum capacity is 99. We can cast or heal 3 times on a full soul meter, and go from empty to full in just 9 hits. Now, I'm sure at least some of you have worked out that all of these numbers go into this one pretty smoothly. So, it made perfect sense to me that using a charm that lets me cast 4 times with a full soul meter instead of 3 would be far more useful than this shitty thing that costs the same number of notches and gives you a measly 3 extra soul per hit. Like, I don't even need maths to work out how pathetic this thing is. You literally cannot feel the difference when using it. You pick this charm up from the secret room hidden in the Soul Sanctum, past the endless hordes of overgrown blobs of sentient jelly. Given its sheer power, I hope that when you're next looking at 2 free charm slots, instead of gravitating towards petty uselessness over here, pick up Spell Twister and enjoy the massive damage boost instead. And before you elitist morons get your knickers in a twist, yes, I know it doesn't help with the cost of healing.
Neither does this thing!
Next charm. Fragile Heart. You'll hear endless praise for unbreakable strength. The sheer power of upgrading your nail beyond its pure state is not to be taken lightly. But we all know this. It's not news to anybody. We've done the maths. We know why it's good. So why am I talking about Fragile Heart? Sure, at the end of the game, when you've already done nearly everything, it'll turn 9 hearts into 11. Big deal. Nobody's impressed. In all honesty, the only time anybody equips this thing when they aren't scratching their head desperately looking for a better way to beat Grey Prince Zote or Markoth on Ascended is when looking for a cheap way out of scouring Hallownest for more lifeblood cocoons. It's the simplest way of getting 15 hearts without trying. But the problem isn't in how this charm's used. It's when. 2 extra hearts doesn't initially sound like much until you tell someone that you found a way to collect 8 entire mask shards for 350 geo. Before you got Mantis Claw. If Sly was selling them for that cheap, he'd be out of business. This shit's practically free. You pick it up from Leg Eater in the Fungal Wastes when on your way to the Mantis Claw. Much like Gathering Swarm in the Compass, this charm is absolutely at its best when at the very start of the game. No question about it. If it breaks, you can always head back to the guy you bought it from and get it fixed. When it comes to cheap and easy upgrades, there is no telling how great this charm really is. And before you elitist fucks get right back to the comments section yet again, yes, I know that equipping the Defender's Crest will lower the price of buying and fixing this charm substantially. So tell me this, when I said before Mantis Claw, how are you planning on getting to the City of Tears first and navigating the Royal Waterways before passing this spot? I'd love to hear it. Last charm, Dream Wielder. This charm isn't as underrated as it is underutilized. Sure, when going into Godhome or preparing for a boss fight in general, this guy is often just a space filler to make use of the last available charm slot. It's in a lot of people's builds, don't get me wrong, but when was the last time you decided to go exploring and had this charm equipped? As much as you're gonna hate me for calling you out on it, that's when this guy is best used. During prolonged fights against multiple enemies, or when navigating hazardous areas with limited ways to gather soul. These situations are where Dream Wielder truly comes into its element. There are many ways to abuse this charm in order to pull off some crazy strats in some boss fights, or just to flex on them mid-battle, but when you look at numbers like gain 66 soul per hit, it stops looking like a piece of flavor text and begins to feel like actual utility. All you need to do is Dream Nail 1 creature with this charm, and you can heal twice. Dream Nail on its own would be relatively strong if not for the ridiculous wind-up, and I think that's what causes us to forget we have it. With Dream Wielder equipped, this wind-up isn't the problem, and its reward for pulling off a hit is doubled. And if its sheer survival utility wasn't enough to convince you, consider that this charm will get you thinking just as much about potentially hidden lore throughout Hallownest as the damn mushroom spore. And that's it. You're free to explore Hallownest now, potentially more informed than you were. I've made my arguments as to why I believe these charms need more love and attention, but I want to know what your thoughts are. If you think Steady Body or Heavy Blow are the best charms in the game and deserve a spot on my list, then tell me why. I love seeing your comments, and I'm sure that you've all realized by now that I read all of them and reply to most. As always, I'm Windette, you're a moron, and I'll see you idiots next time.